Oh, camera's missing. Hey, got camera. Got touchy voice. Hello, welcome.
Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
Okay.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
Ooh. 6 points remaining. Let's just make it all average across the board. Ooh, what am I going to be good in? Persuasion. Oh.
Someone with the talent for exploiting insecurities.
Range guns.
A crack shot. Capital.
Because I tend to die. Let's make myself a medic.
A physician. Not many of you left.
Yeah. Randomize. I want that first one again. Yeah, I'm going with that. Ah.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down 10%. Hip drive
Shit.
inoperable.
Okay.
there you are, wondering what's going on, eh? A bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck! Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry, I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you. Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
Let's see where we go. Hello, friend. Come back here. I don't want to sprint. Can I talk to you? I guess I got past that, okay.
You see now, you've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Sorry. Hmm. Hello, you.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, wow, that stings. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. Better, thanks to you. I might have bled out on my own. Or worse, had to go begging the boss for some Adrena time. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters.
Okay.
Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh?
That's not bad.
Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Yes, nailed it that time. The Hope?
Mm-hmm.
Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
Okay.
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
Hey, how are you doing? I'm doing alright. Due to complications stemming from the revival, and you have limited time in this mode. Stand still, drain shootings very slowly. I want to take him out. Where's the other one? Oh, there. he blew up. What am I trying? Yeah, I'm doing alright. I thought I'd play this rather than Skyrim. Actually, no, rephrase that. I saw the trailer for the second one and realised I wanted to play something other than Skyrim. So I thought I'd start working my way through the Outer Worlds as well. Because again, it's one of these games I've picked up, I've played to certain points, and then put it down, and that's so. I should start completing games that I pick up.
Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Call on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. You pulling my limb? I mean, yeah, of course. Marauders. Bunch of addle-brained derelicts. I could round them up all by myself. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs, son. Well, sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis. But, seeing as I'm the acting manager in this situation, you know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
Okay. I'll go in. Oh. Guess that was a cool shot. So, you've not played this. Okay, best way to explain this game. It is created by Fallout developers who left the company, created their own company.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder.
I'm trying to think. It came out probably 2020, 29. No, I'm not sure.
Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Prepare to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand?
Yes.
Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation. Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
Yay, I leveled up. Sorry. I'm gonna switch cam off. Oh, so I can do more perks. So health. When it came out, it was like Fallout in space. Yes, I will. What I remember playing of this, yeah, it's basically Fallout in space. Not so good though. Heard mixed views. I think the mixed reviews came from the fact that everyone wanted it to be Fallout in space.
This wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, ma'am, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay.
You go.
Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Yeah, so yeah, it got the this is going to be Fallout in space kind of hype, and I think the best way I can put it, it's a bit Borderlands meets Fallout. Um, the storyline is very comical, and that. I did find with a lot of games over time, people compare it to others, and then it gets the mixed reviews. Whereas if you took the game for itself, you sometimes get a better experience. But to be fair, I've done it myself. I've compared games to other games.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's Marauder territory, friend. Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls and low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer? Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see. 4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad.
Okay.
He's working at the cannery.
Let's go on then. But you have to think, like, this game must have done well for them to decide, right, we're bringing out a sequel. Also saw the trailer for Witcher 4. Which I think I'll be interested in what like playing.
Keep your distance, friend. Sick house is no place for a traveler.
Hmm.
I appreciate the company and all, but you really ought to leave. You don't want to be seen around me. Because I'm sick. You don't want to associate with people in the sick house. We're not worth your time. I'm in about as much trouble as I can be. No reason you ought to be tarnished by association. People are gonna talk. Figured it was obvious. I got sick. Couldn't get better on my own. Got moved here for everyone's sake. Maybe you don't know this, but there's a real simple reason you don't talk to the plagued. You don't want what we've got. Don't. Please. I could get into a lot of trouble. That's kind of you to say, I suppose. But I don't need help. What I need is to understand my own folly. Company always tells us, weak spirits lead to weak bodies. If I didn't want to fall sick with plague, maybe I should have worked harder. Maybe I should have taken more pride in my work. I really wish you wouldn't say those sorts of things. I told you once already. People could be listening. I'm feeling a touch faint. If you don't mind, I'd like to be alone for a spell.
What was that? Get him! Time to collect a fine bounty. What? That's odd. No prisoners! Waste of company ammo!
You shoot. Also could have been the yeah. Well, we'll see. I've enjoyed when I've played this. I've enjoyed it. So.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
Okay.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize.
She
I gave
did.
no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I
Okay.
beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Okay.
There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
What a surprise. I would never have guessed.
I am not trying to pull one over on you, friend. You were bound to run into them sooner or later. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. Good law, no, I don't want you killing anyone, least of all them. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
The one thing it does remind me of is the Firefly series.
Hey, ma'am, can we talk? Sorry. Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Life's hard here, especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. Thanks, ma'am. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
It was an amazing series. I rewatched it recently. Well, yeah, Serenity. It was a nice film to, in the sense, complete the storyline. Also know they were working at one point on a game which all the cast were signed up for.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice?
I can't use that.
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. The marauders I met when I ventured outside the walls might agree with you. Bastards snuck up on me while I was dutifully hunting for a banned book in a collector's library. Barely escaped with my life. But you see, one of the reasons I transferred here was to get my hands on that heretical text. If you managed to acquire it for me, I'd pay quite a handsome sum for the book.
Okay.
It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your
Before.
Assuming you're serious?
I'll look for the book for you.
Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
Right, let's see. Divert power. I just want to find them. Let's go and find these people. I like how my gun is automatic, like, out when I enter an area.
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday noon. Now they only come but once a month. I love the wind here.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff.
I'm here to get you brave foes.
I pay my dues if he agreed to join the resistance. This means he's finally heard the calling. I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies. That's right. That's what I've been saying. We gotta square our shoulders and stand ever vigilant. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant. Clattering about, firing at the birds, orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing, shoulder to shoulder with the resistance? I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. Saltuna cans mostly, some Spacer's chaw. Few bit cards. I'll reward you for your aid.
Okay.
Enlistment fees. Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't want to give the resistance a bad name. They have sent a scout, prowling around the junkyard just behind our beloved town. This scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operations. Cross it off, then report back.
Okay. Uprising the Resistance. The Terminator. We'll give this a real world 5 years and see where AI brings us.
Heard something outside the walls today.
Nothing for us outside.
Oh, I cut my own hair. But Conrad sells real good disinfectant.
Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness. No, thank you. That's quite all right. I've seen enough body parts in my line of work. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment.
Which reminds me, you need pay.
Gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions.
You mean you broke?
Broke as pie crust, friend. Bitless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch.
Pay up.
With what? My own blood? Tell Silas I can't afford to pay, and that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies. Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. My pair of lucky clippers. No, that won't do. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions. Much obliged.
Okay. That's Silas out there.
Been eating nothing but salt tuna for a year.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
Thompson. I'm fine, Mr. Thompson. Never been healthier. Whoa, did Mr. Thompson send you? Well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post. Tomorrow. Bright and early tomorrow. Because I'm definitely not plagued. As spry as a spring chicken. That's old Abernathy. You some sort of wandering alienist? Walking into a man's own domicile, pestering him about his mental state? Silas knows, doesn't he? That's why he sent you. That's why he wants me to pay up. He knows. Sounds like he's already told you. May as well hear it from me. I'm dying. I'm not long for this world. The date of my expiration is fast approaching, and soon I shall be ushered through the great cannery in the skies.
Don't say that, Mr. Abernathy. You still got a couple decades in you.
I'd steer clear, Ms. Holcomb. My affliction's bound to be contagious. It's plague. Has to be. Silas knows. He knows I got one foot in my grave, and now he wants to charge me for the other one.
Yeah.
I'll pay your fees. I don't want any trouble from Silas. But if you could see a way to freelancing for me, I could really use the help.
Okay.
There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful stuff. Stronger than what we got, anyway. I need you to break in, nab that medicine, and bring it back to me.
I'll do it.
You oblige me with your haste. I think I feel the plague spreading. Oh, Lord, it's in my spleen now. I can feel it.
We'll be going.
You're making a mistake working for Abernathy.
Almost lost a finger in the cannery today.
Yeah, you can't.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Heard Marauders yonder.
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy.
Okay.
Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. I could do without the sarcasm. Wasn't acting out of the goodness of my heart. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker.
Okay. How do I get out? That works. That's Silas. Oh, I still need to sort this guy out.
Been eating nothing but salt tuna for years.
I've never actually been in here. Seemed scary from the outside.
What can I do for you? Oh? Am I in the company of a fellow doctor?
What a game of healing more levels. You're breaking into somewhere. That's me though.
I am a Spacer's Choice certified surgeon, and if you must know, I can stitch a severed thumb with a 58% chance of avoiding gangrene. Go ahead. The plague's come at us with a vengeance this year. Lost 6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers, mind you. If they were any good, they'd have been treated. Still, it is a shame. Fever, chills, fatigue, aching, vomiting, an excess of phlegm, a tendency towards belly aching.
Sounds like me right now.
Whatever it may be, I have developed my own palliative. Boiled canid liver and a splash of ethanol. Company policy, friend. We don't have enough medicine to treat all of us, so we treat the best among us. We're a sensible people. Edgewater has been good to me. I consider myself privileged to work here. I am never wanting for work, not since the plague started. As the good vicar says, work fortifies the spirit of a man. If you want to feel exhausted, try not having any work. The plague's come at us with a vengeance this year. Lost 6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers, mind you. If they were any good, they'd have been treated. Still, it is a shame. Company policy, friend. We don't have enough medicine to treat all of us, so we treat the best among us. Nature is monstrous, friend, and this plague is natural selection at work. What can I do for you? You know about Eugene? How? Then, you know Phyllis suggested selling off Eugene's gold teeth. I didn't approve of the idea then, and I don't approve of it now. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. He took them to his grave. More than a few. Those teeth were his personal savings. I can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth loose from his jaw just to pay my bills. Can I?
Are you asking rhetorically? Because if you're being serious... Ugh, gross.
Desperate measures, Miss Holcomb. Desperate measures.
Okay.
I'm going to have to ask Silas to dig up those teeth. It's the only way I'm paying my gravesite fees. I'm sure that I have no other choice. Here you are. Gravesite papers affixed with my signature and an IOU.
Okay. In which case, let's head the wrong way.
Pretty low these days.
I know how you feel.
Completely the wrong way. Hey, Cyrus.
Hey, Miss Parvati. Come for a visit? Lovely to see you about, Miss Parvati.
Things going all right, Silas?
Been keeping him careful and true, miss. Best to ask her yourself.
My dad's buried here. Silas watches over him when I can't leave the house. Oh. Well, thanks.
Something I can do for you?
Yeah, about those fees.
Any trouble?
All done.
Reliable work from a freelancer. That's gonna take some getting used to. Yeah?
No. That's the cemetery. I'm gonna find this robot. What's the story so far? Well, I've been hibernating for 70 years. My ship was basically in hyperspace, but a fault occurred, so I got stuck. This person called Wells defrosted me, sent me to the planet Who's angry at me? No idea. Yeah, so that's basically the when my pod landed, I landed on the person I was meant to meet, so a bit of Wizard of Oz. And so to help me get my ship back up and running, I need to encourage a group of people to return back to the main settlement, and then see where I go. Thank you. I walked into that one.
Sure.
No, I can't remember. That's how I do it. Yeah, just seeing where the adventure takes me. Oh, got some hacking. Oh, I need... Right.
Nice.
I don't know why I'd spend half my time sneaking around. It's probably easier in some ways.
Gonna find you.
Yeah, the normal. I've got to remember in this game, it's very much repair stuff, because you will have like your guns break on you. So, if I go into my inventory and look at my weapon, how can I fix this? Crit repair. Okay, so can't repair yet. And that's way up here.
Okay, gone quiet.
Hello. Right. Messages. Keycard encoder in the lobby is back up. Running, hopefully it won't go on threats. As a reminder, if it goes down again, you can borrow a keycard from the director. Okay. Pet pills. Oh, that's what I was meant to retrieve. Okay. Ooh, before I go anywhere. Is this an open or does it take?
Here we go. He took one down.
I feel like that's sarcasm from you, gal. I like assault rifle. Okay, we're done in here. We can carry on heading up. No, still can't go to the toilet. Another game missing the point. So I might pick his assault rifle up so that I've got a spare. Yeah, picking his up as a spare sounds a good idea. Yeah, what game is it?
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble.
Who are you talking to, Grace?
I don't know you.
No.
Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those. Yeah, that's us. And you can tell Thompson we're doing just fine by ourselves. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on ya. Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind. Explains why you're still yammering on at me. No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her.
I'll keep my eye out.
Not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Honest.
I'll leave you be. Ark Survival Evolved. It's called Player. actually poops after a certain amount of time. Oh. Epic. Sorry. It's one game I've never played. Never really actually watched. Either.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
You must be Adelaide.
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned. Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Make amends. Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. I trust you will listen.
I'll consider it. Right. Got a lot of points to... Let's take that up to 30. How many perks? 1. I want XP when she kills someone. Guess I'm gonna have to divert power. Where's Zoe's place? No more cannery, no more jumpsuits. Bandit Green. Oh boy. She's joined the bandits.
What is it? I'll tell you what I can.
Nah.
What is it?
They sent a dog after me. That's cruel.
I don't know anybody who ever came out this far.
They did kind of come out there nowhere. Sorry. Safety, cover. Yeah, I don't do safety and I don't do cover.
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways. What? You mean Adelaide's little congregation of nature-loving nobodies? I could not possibly be less interested in them. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen. Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong. And no serial dramas. I've been thinking about going back. I just gotta know if Lord Cavendish really is the masked marketeer. I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is gonna be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
Oh, I want to make one of mine. Don't. That was just stupid. Kind of the same, no cover allowed and no safety, especially in multiplayer. I just... The only real game I've ever really played the whole cover situation was The Division, but the whole point of that game was cover base. Well, I want to know what that guy read and saw that. Oh. Really shows how long ago I last played this game on here. Ghost Recon multiplayer. I played Ghost Recon.
I've always wanted to poke around in here.
No. No. See that one? That one. No melee attacks. I'm going heavy.
System.
Okay, that was quicker than normal. Not saying that normally I just go in and die, but normally I go in and die. Oh. Those containers blow up. Right, I'm now indoors.
The control room should be off to the right. I hope we're doing the right thing.
Hey, plant status. Redirect power. So we've manually got to move.
That'll be easy enough.
Yeah, then that's the last words any character can give you. Oh, don't stand in my way. I like these little critters. That one's locks. It's open.
Dang, that's impressive. Here we go. Don't mess with us.
One more love. Don't know where. Okay. No, I'm gonna play. I'm probably gonna play for another hour and then
Two more. What'll happen to
head off.
if we send power to the Veil?
got some flying ones.
No, just leave me alone. No, just leave me alone. No, just leave me alone. You're not real. You're not real. You're not real. You're not real. Get away from me, Phantom. Shoot. Scram.
No. Yeah, there were some big areas.
You can talk? The Phantom's never talked before. I knew I shouldn't have eaten that sprat raw. See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting.
Okay, slow down.
I mistook you for one of the phantoms of my imagination, which terrorized me on occasion. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder.
Yeah.
Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant.
You were an engineer.
I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded, did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section.
So you can stop them.
I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us with prodding irons.
Okay.
You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead.
Okay.
Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you.
Come on.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Oh.
Hmm. Did we?
System. Halt. Security patrol initiated.
There's another one somewhere.
When to go? If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the Veil?
Oh. My optional reprogramming was just blow them up. I did actually want to just turn them off. Okay, they're all dead. Oh, I know where I am now. I've noticed with most the talking NPC chats, they gotta give this whole back workaround speech for just being basic and short instead. Yeah.
The last. I'm not sure what the right is. Alls I know is the decision's final.
So I've got to go back to where I came from.
Once we do this, there's no going back.
Yeah, I know. Why can we talk? We can talk.
Yeah, huh? That's on account of how I never met her. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Veil a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here.
Is that normal?
I don't know about normal. Dad said that they have some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers. You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vickers says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vickers sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass. Fixing the universe is a job for somebody way better than the likes of me.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am. Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you, do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
Glad to hear from you.
I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
So, what do I do? The ultimate choice. Do I give Edgewater the power and make the disasters go back? Or give the deserters the power? They've got a nice commune and they're being successful. What to do, what to do, what to do. Which is the best option in the long run? I don't know. I always go with Edgewater, which makes me feel like I should do Botanical Laboratory. Or, no, I'm going to go Edgewater. I'm going to try and get Mr. Busybody out of his job. Yeah. I know there's a way I can get him out of his position and give them back the town. Oh, I need to go in the hub here. Oh, come back to you. Inventory. Level 9. Mm.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Desserts,
Bound to
desserts.
spoil at this rate.
There's Grace.
No, I'm trying to think. Marauders can't see us in the dark. Wild Canids, on the other hand. We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway?
She joined up with...
You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you.
Okay, so you're sort of happy with me?
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit.
Mm.
This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it?
For my survival.
You killed my garden, destroyed my community, sentenced my flock to a lifetime of slavery in Edgewater for a power regulator. Well, shit, I wish it was personal. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management. You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos?
Chaos.
Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together.
Okay.
Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, and I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients. I have got a means to cure the plague, and I will not share that cure until Reed leaves town. Those are my terms.
Okay. I accept your terms. Can I have my regulator though?
I don't know what you did to talk some sense into Zoe, but I appreciate it. The matter's been weighing on me. Zoe came back, but I couldn't keep slipping out in the first place. Who's to say I could keep marauders from slipping in? I don't see us lasting more than a couple of weeks out here. I'm loath to admit it. We're gonna have to make our peace with Thompson and hope he takes us back. Listen, we go back to Reed, hat in hand, begging for our old jobs back. Well, Adelaide's not gonna forgive us. She never talked to us again. Sure, suit yourself. I'll be here.
Right, that's that one done. Tom.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead.
No, it's mine.
Whoa, Miss Parvati. You're, what, how are you? Hi. Hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no. I'm just along with this lady here.
I seen you wandering around here. You don't look like you're coming from town.
Just trying to get my ship off the ground.
Raised in such a way before. I guess we're all trying to get our ships off the ground, ain't we? Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair. I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Yeah.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged.
I found one.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one? The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible. You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me. Sure, I'd be glad to take them off your hands.
Okay.
I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody here. I get sick thinking about working at the cannery. I can't do that again. You know something? I think you're right. The town could use another engineer, and I'm on my way to becoming one. I could do a lot of good in Edgewater. Maybe even keep a garage of my own with a little workbench and my very own toolbox. It's just... Adelaide's never gonna forgive me. Not in 100 years. I go crawling back to my old life in Edgewater, and I'm as good as dead to her. You know where to find me.
So, let's try some running. What have I got active? Right then, right. Okay. Probably right then left. Yeah. He said there was enough book in there. Let's go and sort this out first. Skills or attribute kind of thing on this. Yeah. This is going to be persuasion or a bullet to the head. Oh, I can give her a perk. You.
I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts?
No.
Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's Choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes. But I have done my best for this town.
Changed leadership then they
I'm
did.
a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer. But it is my home. I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic. The very notion is just grotesque. A raw vegetable? Why don't you just ask me to go chew the bark off of a tree?
Go and chew bark off then.
Saltuna cannery. We eat saltuna here, and only saltuna. I don't understand. You say Adelaide's growing her own food, but that should not be possible. The soil's gone sour. Company said as much. Our own botanists couldn't grow decent crops for us, so the company got rid of them and shut down the greenhouse. You'll excuse me. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil? If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way.
Yeah, I didn't have to kill him.
Here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me.
Take care. Different planets, remember, yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead, Cubs. I think she said there was one at the cannery. Yes. I need to go upstairs. Creepy crawlies. Yay, we got all 3 volumes for him. So if I go to the map, I realise I can't load the map. It's better. I can fast travel. Oh. That'll make things easier. Spectrum vodka. A glass for every class. So Tom's going to get his last bits, and then I'm going to go down and see.
Any luck finding one of those manuals? No kidding. Really?
Yeah.
Well, which one?
Part 1.
Look at that. Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. 2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment.
I've got one more for you.
Don't keep me in suspense.
Part 2.
Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. That's a complete set. All 3 parts. I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever seen.
Yay.
Aside from you, Ms. Parvati, I swear, I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we
Good.
can help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit.
Let's go and talk to you, Miss Adelaide.
Look at that. The snake's come back.
Yeah. He's leaving.
Never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be. It's a ransom, you understand, not a reward.
Okay.
You're telling me you did all this just to put me in charge of Edgewater? Stranger, you are some kind of twisted.
Yeah.
I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
Yay. Hey, Tom.
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what to do is all. Adelaide said that? Was she sober at the time? I never imagined she'd step foot in Edgewater long as Reed ran the town. Something must have changed in Edgewater. Adelaide's good as family. If she's going back, so are we.
Never liked Reed much. Can't say I'm sorry he's gone.
Whoops. Don't walk into the fire. So. That's the geoplant. Did I forget to do that bit? Let's go and turn in some of these, and then I'm going to call it.
Hey, I need to talk to you.
You wanna mingle, go try the cantina.
Let's see it. Don't keep us waiting.
Sweet life-giving nostrum. The first hit's always the best. Scratched together all the bits I had around the domicile. It ain't as much as you deserve, but it's all I got. You'd really sprat me out? For what? A couple of extra bits? Here, take it then.
See ya. Next one. Let's die, robot, die. The wrong side. What's up here? I need to be down there. Hello, sir. Behind you.
Never seen the Vale lit up like this before. You beat that scout to scrap with its own legs? Pulled its optic cables out its head case?
Yeah.
Actually, don't tell me. Rather use my imagination. You're a passing fair soldier, I will confess. But you are one, and the enemy is legion. What you need is an equalizer, a weapon to strike fear in their cold, mechanical hearts. Cantina, lavatory, behind one of the toilets. That's where I've kept it hidden all these years. Sharp, ain't it? The lavatory is the very last place a mechanical has need to enter. On the double, soldier. Don't want the bartender poking around in there with a mop.
Really? Hey, I asked for them to do more interactions with the toilet. I didn't think of putting your weapon behind the toilet.
Something got you down? You're not a big drinker, are you?
Mm-hmm.
You read the latest report?
Only the part that said we ain't making our quotas.
If only McDevitt's folk hadn't abandoned us. Cannery could use it.
Gotta run all the way back.
Another day at the cannery.
Wonder if the plague's ever gonna pass.
Probably the wrong door. Yeah. Yeah, I came out the wrong door.
Never seen the Vale lit up like this before.
I can't see your head.
Feast your eyes, soldier. This here is a genuine Spacer's Choice injury customizing unit, designed to deliver a lethal blast of electrical discharge. I call it the Hand of the Law. You ever want to see a mechanical flailing around like a grounded fish? You stick a couple thousand volts in its guts. With compliments from old Ludwig. Fun. This ain't some quarterly performance review, soldier. Ours is a grave and sacred duty. Time's come for you to journey down into the black heart of the enemy's camp. I'm talking about the old geothermal plant. Unfortunately, the old plant lies outside my board-given jurisdiction. You'll need to get a passcode from the boss, Reed Thompson.
I've done all that.
I've been after a passcode for years. Boss said no on account of my gross incompetence with all matters related to security. I need you to get us the brain of a mechanical. Well, not exactly a brain. Anatomically speaking, what we're looking for is a logic module.
Hopefully I've picked one of those up already.
If you die horribly, I will pour out a can of Zero-G to your memory.
Okay, so I'm going to have to do that. But, in the meantime, I am going to wish you all good night. I will probably be on at some point over the weekend. But, other than that, I hope you've enjoyed it. And I will see you all soon.